Hello, I'm Anna Sansom, author of Desire Lines, and this lunar month, as part of the Unbound Book Club, I'm sharing some excerpts from my book, Desire Lines. Many of the passages in the book aren't appropriate to share on Instagram or Facebook because I'm talking about sex and sexuality, and these platforms have certain rules and regulations about what can be shared and what can't be shared. However, I did want to share one of the short erotic stories that's contained in Desire Lines. It is short and hopefully it won't contravene any of the regulations. So this is called Lilith in Fur. Waking up in the demon's arms was one of the most luxurious things ever. Every inch of their touching skin and feathers felt like silk. Lilith lengthened her body, stretching like a cat, before snuggling back into the softness and warmth of the body beside her. The demon's breasts pressed against Lilith's own, and she drew her fingertips lazily down the length of the demon's smooth thigh. They both sighed with sleepy pleasure before the demon sought out Lilith's lips with her own and kissed her languorously. When they broke from the kiss, Lilith purred out her pleasure with a sound that made them both giggle. "Are you my kitty this morning?" the demon inquired, stroking the side of Lilith's cheek and along her jawline. Lilith rubbed her face against the gentle hand, demanding a firmer touch. They both laughed again. "You are my kitty. The question is, are you a sweet kitty or a ferocious one?" The feeling was still unfamiliar, but Lilith welcomed it each time it came. As she focused on her intensifying desire and allowed the waves of want to wash over her, she began to sense her body shifting into a new shape and form. She felt it in her skin first, the brush of her fur against the mattress and under the demon's touch. Her canine teeth elongated and sharpened, and she could feel the rough rasps of her tongue as she drew it over her palate. Lilith became acutely aware of rustling and scratching sounds inside and outside of the cave, pricking up her ears to better hear the movements of hurrying creatures. And then, in response to those sounds, and the excitement they created in her, she felt her tail swish. Alongside her, the demon was shape-shifting too, matching the changes in Lilith's body until they both transformed from female to feline. With unspoken words, they both agreed, "Let's go and hunt down some breakfast." Bellies satiated, lips licked, and fur cleaned, they returned to the cave. The demon began to alter first, pausing halfway between cat and woman, and Lilith followed suit, retaining the delicious pleasure of her silken fur and her heightened senses, whilst also reclaiming her sex and other erogenous zones. They could speak again with words, but Lilith chose to meow instead. "Touch me," her tone encouraged. "Ah, my pretty kitty." The demon stroked at the fur along Lilith's back and watched her arch in response. "Is it time to play?"